Hello, sixth grade distance learners. I wanted to take you through how you can access the project in Gamestar Mechanic. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is either use the link that I've provided or just Google Gamestar Mechanic and get yourself signed in. So, again, you log in up here. And for this, you just put in your username. That's the part of your email address before at wssd.bz, and you click play now. All right, and let me get my good cursor on here so that you can see where I'm going. You guys, before you went into full-time distance learning, you had been on the quest, and now we're going to go into our workshop. You can get it here or here, your workshop. And your workshop is where any games that you create or any projects that I assign to you will show up. So if you scroll down, and you won't have this there, and you scroll down and you scroll down past these challenges and contests, you will see that you now have a top-down perspective project assigned to you. So you're going to click on that and it's going to open up. So you don't have to worry about this start date, but you definitely want to try to have this done by December 4th. And if you get this message at any point, just click here on the words click here and allow. Now, to kind of show you what a top-down game is, they talk about the fact that this project is all about perspective. Top-down perspective, that is. In these games, the camera is overhead looking from the top down onto the game. Many popular games are top-down, like Pac-Man and the original Legend of Zelda. Often, top-down games have mazes and puzzles. Are you up to the challenge of creating your own top-down game? And in here are two missions that you can do that give you a really good sense of what a top-down game is. If you can't get through these in about 10 minutes, don't spend any more time on them. The important thing about doing this is getting right to the project goals. So I'm going to click on project goals, and if we look at this, it says top-down games are about getting from point A to point B, but the fun and challenge in the game is about the journey the player takes to get there. Without gravity to worry about, designing top-down games means creating interesting obstacles on the way to the goal. Patrolling enemies, well-placed damage blocks, clever mazes, and points to collect can all turn a walk in the park into an epic journey. Top-down perspective is great for creating games that look and feel like a place. Good top-down games can look like a map of an enchanted kingdom, the deck of a spaceship, or the paths through the forest. Where will your inspiration come from? Is your game based on a real place or one for your imagination? Is it a place you'd like to visit or one you'd want to avoid? And if you click right here on My Project, it says to start, your project must have a game in it. Click the button below to start building a new game for this project. Once you've beaten all the levels, click the Submit button to make it part of your project. And if you click Build a New Game from a Template, you'll see the building screen in a top-down game. Sometimes this makes you sign in repeatedly, and again, I am not sure why it's doing that, but Just keep signing back in with your username and password. All right. So if we look, it says top-down submission, build a top-down game. We've supplied you with a simple set of goals, rules, space, components, and mechanics in a game. Do your best to make it your own. And there are no actual conditions to this. So we can click Build Game. And if we ever need to see this again, we come over here and go back in. So this is our blank game space. So it's a little grid here, and you've got some controls over here on the top, your move cursor, your edit button, your clone tool, which will duplicate something exactly, and your erase tool. So those are our four main controls. Now, up here you have your edit and play. Obviously, we have nothing we can play right here. Top-down submission is currently the name of the game. If we click on settings, we can change that. So I always say I wouldn't go into GameStop or Target and buy a game called top-down submission. So we need to come up with a better name for your game. And you might come up with that later on. You should also change the intro message and the win message to something that fits your game. You can put in what the goals and rules are. You know, if there are a certain number of points you have to gather in a certain amount of time. And you can put any tips and tricks in there that you wish. None of that has to be in there. So those are the actual game settings. You can create numerous levels. You only have to create one for this project, but I know some of you, when you start creating your game, you're going to want to add lots and lots of levels to it. So that's totally up to you, but only one is needed. The big thing is we need to go into the settings here, because this is where we can control a lot of things. Maybe we want to change the name of our first level and the intro message. We want to make sure this is a top-down game. In a top-down game, our avatar sprites can move up, down, and side to side. They can't jump. They can blast things. They can attack. They can collect points, but they can't, go up any further. You can create a single screen or multiple screens where it goes along for a little while. You can make it longer or higher. I'm going to leave mine on a single screen. And edge bounding means, does it go off one side and then come back out another? Now, because this is a project assigned to you, you've got a lot of options here. You actually get all the different backgrounds that are available through Gamestar Mechanic, and they have a lot of cool options. So I'm just going to click on this one and put that in. It kind of looks like a sky. You can choose to tile it or stretch it or fill it. Maybe you want it to scroll along. And then you also have the option of adding music to your game. And they have different music selections for you. I'll put in that one. I don't even know what it sounds like, but it's kind of cool. And then now that you're in top-down, you have all these different sprites already available to you. So you've got your avatar sprites right here. You can click on your enemy sprites, your blocks, your different kinds of blocks. And when you click on these and put them in, you can find out more information, any items that you want to collect, and any system things like your timer, scorekeeper, your health meter, the frag counter, that's how many enemies you'd blast, and an energy meter. So I'm going to start out first of all putting an avatar in. And I kind of decided that I want my avatar to be able to blast something. And I'm going to use this guy. And I'm just going to put him in right here. And there he is. He's in the game space. If I need to edit him and see what other options he has, I come up here, I click on edit, and you'll see that I can change his speed quite a bit. He can move pretty darn fast if I want him to. I'm going to put him down to about a 7. I can add how many units of health I want him to have, all the way up to 5. The fewer lives you have, the harder the game is. The more lives you have, the easier the game is. I'm going to set it right at 3. And I'm going to put my enemies in here. So maybe it's him or another one that also fires. So there he is. And I'm going to edit him. So these guys can move in all these directions. It's a lot of things to keep in mind and to work with and to try out. And you can set all these different things. After this point, it is totally up to you what you do with your game. This is any top-down game you want to make. With the blocks, you've got this regular block here. Again, you can edit those, I think. Oh, that one doesn't let you change the color, but some of them do. I'm going to get rid of that. And it's just as easy as clicking on the X and deleting it. Let me try pulling the white block in here. I wonder if I can edit that one. And you can. So with the white block, if you click on your wrench and then click on the block, you get other colors available. There's all sorts of other stuff in here, guys. You're going to have to really just kind of play around and see what things look like and see what you want it to do. Whenever you are working through, save often, because sometimes you might have to re-enter your info. And when your game is done, after you've saved it, you'll want to play through it and make sure that it's playable, and then click submit. And then it'll be turned into me and you'll be good to go. So that's, in a nutshell, what you need to do. I have this screencast here available to you at all times. And if you need any help, please don't be afraid to email me or let me know in Schoology if you're having any troubles. I think that's it for right now. Good luck. I cannot wait to see what you guys create. Have a great day, everybody.